What's up guys, it's Missy. I'm back with another SimCity build a video. We had a question on our Discord. If you would like to join our Discord, you're more than welcome to. The link is down below in the description of this video. This person had asked, what does it take for a city to be good or able to play the Contest of Mayors? Now, that is a very good question, and there's a lot of answers that kind of go into that. So I'm going to go ahead and do a video about it. Now, we're going to talk about what does it take for you to be successful in Mega. Okay, now that is a big thing, because just because you can play Mega or you can win sometimes doesn't necessarily mean that you're playing the best way. Now, we have kind of a lot of changes that we've made so far to our Discord and our Facebook group and stuff like that. So one, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button to support the channel. Two, if you have anybody that you conversate with on Reddit, Facebook, whatever, link my videos or get my name out there. We're doing a free rare and coins giveaway once a month to people who are adding I follow MissyAnne to their city description. Okay, so all you have to do is click on your name and then click this little edit button here, add I follow MissyAnne on YouTube. You can either screenshot it to me and send it to enter into the, the drawing, or what we're going to be doing, all of the members in my group, as they shop on the global market throughout the month, and they're going to check their leaderboards as well, they're going to be looking at everybody's city descriptions and screenshotting anything that they see on the global market. We have seen a lot of people supporting the channel by writing stuff like MissyAnne with their roads on their map, or writing I love Neverland as their name. We saw one in the design challenge. So I mean, definitely that is totally up to you, but we do see what you're doing. It's awesome. Thank you. And like I said, just add I follow MissyAnne to your description. Now, I'm going to be putting a photo album link down below in the description here, so that you don't actually have to send me your screenshot personally. You can just add it to the photo album with the link below. Okay? What else was I going to say to y'all? There was something else important I had to say to you guys. I'm sure I'll think of it throughout the video. Okay, so basically, what does it take for you guys to... Oh, we're adding new members. We have a couple spots left. We've got 4 spots left. If you're wanting to join into Neverland, you're going to click the video description. There is a spot there that says recruiting member. That's Star. You can reach him on Discord or in the link down below. Okay, so what does it take to be successful in Mega? What does your city need to have prepared in order to be successful? Now, if you're starting out a city on the Missy's Building Guide, basically, in a perfect scenario, what you're doing is you're speed leveling to level 24, right? Now, you're spending all of your cash on shop slots. Now, that's very, very important to being successful in the Contest of Mayors, is that you have all 11 slots unlocked in every single shop. Mainly for a number of reasons, okay? One, you don't have a whole lot of tokens yet, or you want to prepare certain items, right? So a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll waste their cash on stupid little things like rares or items that they want to have finished. Don't ever do that. Spend all your obtainable cash on getting those shop slots upgraded first. Okay, being able to... Spending the little bit of money that you have now to make more money later is where you want to invest your Sims cash. You don't want to invest your Sims cash in stupid stuff like rares, okay? Because rares, first off, are like 18 bucks a piece, and it takes like 7,200 and something storage rares to max out your capacity. It's an absolute ripoff to do it that way. So when you speed level to level 24, when you first start out the game, you're going to get a lot of little cash prizes from your city journal. And you're going to take anything that you obtain there. You want to make sure that you start each round of Mega with right around 200 to 300 cash. So be prepared for that. Okay? Don't just go all crazy buying a Maxis and things that you don't really need right now. You need to secure your funding. So even if you win Mega, your first week of Mega, you need to secure certain aspects of your city before you go and buy stuff like the Maxis. Maxis is not important right at the beginning of playing the Contest of Mayors. Okay? Now let's say that your city is older, like, you've been playing it a while, it's a high level city. Again, you need to get those shop slots maxed out. So the number one thing is maxing out those shop slots. Okay, now you need to make sure that before the Contest of Mayors begins, that you have all shops prepped with ready to pick up items. Okay, so preferably something that you would, one, have an assignment for, and two, something that would actually take some time to make, like let's say melons or something, or beef if you're a high level player. Now another thing is factories. You want to make sure that you have all of your 5-slot factories, no 3-slot factories. Now there should be no reason why you have 3-slot factories when you're playing Mega. That will only cause you major problems when it comes to doing factory assignments, and that is a big problem. Another thing is coins. You need to have enough freaking coins if you get hit with an epic project or you have to do a lot of flights. So it's cash and coins are super, super important. Now, ideally, anything around 300,000 to 500,000 coins would be nice. You should have no problem doing that if you are running your production plan as it should be ran during the times in which you are not playing the Contest of Mayors. You are going to, have a decrease of income during the Contest of Mayors because you're not only spending a lot of resources, but you're unable to run your production plan the way that you normally would. So you need to make sure that you have coins, cash, right around at a minimum of 300 cash, just in case, all 5-slot factories, all shop slots maxed out, and you need to make sure that you have certain things available. So basically look at it like this. Whatever level it is that you are, whatever assignments it is that you have that could come in, you need to be prepared to do any assignment that comes your way. Okay? So what that means is you should not be playing Mega competitively unless you have enough war cards to upgrade, a war card if it comes in. That is why we speed level to level 24, so that you guys can start earning war points and stacking up war boosters, war cards, all that good stuff. It also helps you tremendously because you're joining into a group. You have items. You have a much easier time locating items. You get the benefit of the group chest, which if you're in a group that gives you legendary, that's 15 rares a week, plus 120 cash, plus tickets. Then you have 2 wars a week if you're in a good group. That also gives you cash or, tokens or tickets or whatever it is if you win the defeat prize or the victory, and what arena you're in, it's going to depend. But either way, you're getting something, right? So camping too low level is a big mistake. Now, knowledge of how to pick your assignments, that is another huge aspect to playing the Contest of Mayors. But as far as a city goes, you need to basically be able to do any assignment, and you need to be able to do it as quickly as possible. Getting those factory slots at 5 each is important. Is it important for you to buy nano factories right now? Absolutely not. All that does is take away the pollution square. It does not make them faster. It's just basically a huge price increase to remove a pollution square. Okay? So, factory slots, shop slots, what else? What else is important? Well, if you're a high level player, you need to have Omega items readily available. So essentially, you have 2 assignments now that can be associated with Omega. That is Omega currency and Omega upgrades. Omega upgrades are a very good assignment. They're a premium assignment with a high algorithm rate. In order to do Omega upgrades, you need to have Omega items. The best way to not only get this assignment done quickly, but cheap, is to put down a new construction zone. Every time you put down a new construction zone on your Omega, you only have to use one Omega item to upgrade it, okay? So I highly recommend that you do it that way. Now, when it comes to Omega currency, usually what happens is you have a couple of options here. One, you have the option of the bubbles that pop up that offer stuff like this. Now here, it's offering me a pretty good amount for 4. Usually I don't do anything that's less than 1,000 on each of my Omega items. But if you get an offer that you like, simply do not touch it. As long as you don't use those items, that offer will be there when you want it. So if you got an offer that's garbage, just click no and it will give you another offer. Now, if your Omega storage is not at least 60 to 75% full, you likely will not get an offer to pop up. So make sure that you pay very close attention to that, okay? So having Omega items readily available and having this bubble readily available is important. Another thing that people don't do is they don't leave enough residential zones to be placed down. That is crucial, okay? If you get an Omega upgrade and you have no residentials to place down and no way to upgrade your Omega, you're stuck unable to do the assignment until you get into a position where you either have a house you can place down or until you upgrade enough stuff, right? So usually what I do when I play Mega is I make sure that I have all of my construction zones. You can only have 3 construction zones, okay? Now, in those construction zones, once you do one upgrade on the construction zone, you will get usually a new one to pop up. But if you have 3 already placed, you won't get any more. Hold on just a second, you guys. Okay, so the next thing is having Epic Project available. That is let's go back to the upgrades because there was one more thing I had to tell you guys, okay? Another thing is you're going to be doing, if you're a high level player, you're going to be doing a lot of upgrades. Those are your premium assignments. If you're rotating your assignments properly, then you should be getting quite a few upgrades. That being said, go to your regional maps, go to your capital map, look at all of your house upgrades, and refresh anything that you think is 1, too expensive, 2, you don't have items for, or 3, you don't plan to get those items anytime soon or wouldn't want to donate. Okay? This will help you tremendously during time frame. Okay? Because what a lot of people do is they wait until they get the upgrade first, then they go through and they donate items without even looking at what the upgrade's asking for, or they refresh things after the fact, and then it takes them longer to complete. Anytime that you travel to that map, just quickly go through everything. You can just click the arrows, shift through everything. Like, for example, there's no way in hell I'm giving up 2 tires for an Old Town upgrade. So I just click refresh on that, okay? So that is another thing that will save you a lot of time. Now, Epic projects. That is another very important aspect. So as a high level player, you usually only do Epic project assignments when you have, let's say, a task for 2,000 points or higher on the Epic. Because it's non-premium and it has a not great opportunity for a high level player, the only benefit that a high level player has over a low level player is that they can do multiple epics, one after the other, if they have them available on their maps. Whereas a low level player, a low level comm player, does not have regional maps unlocked, therefore they can only do one epic, and then once that one epic is done, they have to wait that 12-hour time period. So let's say you're a high level player and you complete an epic project on your capital map, but you still have points that you need to do, or you get another assignment. You can immediately go to your regional map if you have an epic ready on your regional map, and you can start an epic project immediately, but you do have a 12-hour downtime on your capital map, okay? You can see how much more time is left on that downtime by simply clicking on your token tower. I do not have one, and I do not have an epic available because I don't have a fully upgraded regular residential home. If I recently just upgraded a fully regular residential home, it's going to start that 12-hour timer, okay? So let's say that another thing you guys need to be very aware of. Let's say that you finish an epic project. You know when you finish it and it gives you that green check mark and you click transform? If you don't click transform, that 12-hour timer does not begin. So make sure that you do that. When you go to your regional maps, the only way to make an epic project on a regional map is to have a fully upgraded regular home on your regional map. Okay, so it has to be a regular home, whether it's on a regional map or capital map. That is super, super important when it comes to being able to, alternate that downtime and between the streaks and stuff like that. Another thing for high level players when it comes to making your city prepared for the contest is going to be having the right inventory. Now, this is probably the most important thing when it comes to the contest of mayors. Not only having coins, but having, one, you need to have space. I cannot tell you how many people try to play mega competitively and they have low storage capacities. Now, I'm going to explain why this is such a nightmare for you guys. Every second counts when you're playing the contest of mayors. Any little bit of time it takes to, let's say, locate items for a flight, locate items for epic projects, try to get the items or materials it takes to produce stuff for a production task. All of that down, the little bit of time that it takes, it adds up. And all it's going to take is one long factory production in the streaks, and you're going to fail. Or you're not going to be able to finish on time. Now, you don't want to spend a whole week of your life donating all this energy, time, brain power, resources, coins, and then lose. That would just be terrible, right? If you move quickly and efficiently, that is the best way to go about it. Now, ideally, what you want to do is you want to have 90% of your assignments done by the second day of the contest. Now, that's saying that you can avoid the long factory productions and get through the streaks. That being said, that also allows you to have enough time to not only recuperate, but to make back resources and get, your production plan running smoothly, make back items that you need. Speed is everything. It also is essential because there's been many times where people have, went super, super quick, and then they get hit with multiple factory production tasks in the streaks, and they barely finish on time, right? So speed is a huge factor. Now, in order to be fast, and when I say go fast, I don't mean go so fast that you make mistakes and that you pick assignments that, should take you a little bit more time over something else. For example, let's say you have glass prepped and it's at 1200 and you have an assignment for sugar for 2400. You don't do the glass over the sugar, okay? That's too much of a jump. Now, it also depends on how many tasks are remaining. So there's a lot of key factors. The point being, there's many times where people will pick, let's say, paint over, let's say, nails, or they'll pick nails over paint because it's faster. But the paint is significantly more points. Don't make sacrifices like that. That's not what I'm referring to when I say go fast. Okay? But in order for you to be able to get those flights done quickly and all that stuff, you have to be able to hold items. You just do. And the items that you cannot hold, you need to have a group of people that are around to, make up for that that loss, basically. So you can't hold 100 of everything in one city. You just can't. There's always going to be something that you need, and you need to have a good group to do that. Having enough VU items, rares, airport, that's exactly what you need, okay? So before I begin the contest of mayors, the first thing that I do is I try to have 2 to 3 of each airport. That way if I get a upgrade 3 airport, I can do it without any issues. I also, like I said, lay down a new construction zone, or I check all of the previous residential homes on my regional maps. When it comes to shops, you need your regional shops. The biggest issue that high level players have is regional tasks, okay? Because the regional HQs are a nightmare. That's going to be one of your biggest problems. You need to also have, at a minimum, 1 of each storage and 1 of each dozer in case you need it for a regional currency assignment, okay? So always make sure that you have that with the airport. You need to have, at a minimum, 30 to 50 VU items, preferably 50 or higher of each. Now, if you have a storage capacity of 200, that's going to be a problem, right? You get a lot of launch VU assignments in a week if you're playing properly, and if it has a pretty decent algorithm on that assignment. So as a high level player with simply, let's say, 50 of each VU, just a couple launches and you could be out of commission. You also want to make sure that you're launching the right disaster. You should be launching Meteor Strike, the very first one, okay? This one costs 4 VU items in total, and it's a reward of 3 keys and 1 worth 500 coins. Another tip for you guys, when you, let's say you're doing a repair assignment, okay? And you have 1 repair left, and you just had to launch this. But you only have the materials for 1 of the key repairs. Do you do it? No. You do the one for 500 coins. You refresh it, you find the item, whatever. And you leave those 3 repairs for the keys in case you have a key assignment that needs done. Another thing for you guys in terms of tips to make things go quicker or more efficiently, your mayor's pass. So many people do not utilize their resources. This goes for side passes and, well, not really so much the VU pass, but for the side passes, okay? Here you have things that you can utilize within this pass that can make your life easier. For example, if you have a coins assignment, you can hold on to these 3,000 coins. If you have land expansions left, but you have very minimal space, even if you have a lot of space, if you're not ready to upgrade your land, don't collect this. It's here, it's being stored, it's not going anywhere. Why do you want to collect it and have it take up inventory space? Doesn't make sense. When you get Neo-Simoleon assignments, there you go. Now you have it available to you, okay? This stuff doesn't need collected for 40 days, so you can utilize it on the next week if it would be more successful to you. For example, collect your temp storage immediately. On the regional currency, I always go to the regional map in which it's asking for the coins for, and then I collect it. Seems to help, not 100% sure if it actually does, but it seems to. But that is a nice one to get, because if you do manage to get it, that is a huge relief, because those assignments are a pain. Also, never ever ever open your regional HQs unless you have an assignment for it. And I do have a video talking all about regional tips, comm tips. You're definitely going to want to give that a listen, because it explains how the timers work on the regional HQs, how to use them to your benefit, and which ones to open at which times. I don't want to get into all that right now, but definitely check that video out, okay? It'll make your life so much easier. The next thing is having gold tickets. Now, a lot of people, again, the original question for this video was, what does a city need to have to be really successful in the contest? Tickets. If you waste all of your tickets in the lower leagues, first off, you absolutely should not be spending cash or anything like that in the lower leagues. It's just quick, fast, easy points to get to the Mega League. Tickets should only be used if absolutely, you know, necessary to win. Don't assume that a 30 or 50k lead on the leaderboard is anything fancy, okay? Just going through all 6 streaks, in bonus points alone, you get 48,000 points, right? So don't, do not assume that just because somebody has, you have a 50k lead, that that's anything, all right? Now, the next thing is these land deeds. Don't collect those. The mountain ones, the beach ones, do not collect those until you're ready to use them. If you're maxed out on your capital, you will get these when you unlock your regional, okay? Same thing with VU items, all this applies. You can, tokens, that's another thing. Don't collect your tokens until you're ready to use them, because the ones on top of the buildings, you can't collect those if you have more than 35 in your inventory. Okay, that also comes down to tokens during the contest. You need to have tokens in order to be successful in the contest of mayors. Try to use them as needed. You know, like, don't, let's say you have an assignment for like 14 grass. Don't use a gold token on 14 grass. Go to our production plan that we have made. Look, and I showed you guys in my video yesterday how to read the production plan, how to read the charts, and it tells you right there exactly how many items you can produce on a specific type of token based on whatever star shop you have. Don't waste gold tokens when you can easily use a silver token, okay? Unless you're somebody who's like got tons of tokens and it doesn't matter, then it's whatever. But just know that you do need to use them. Don't just wait 3 hours for paint to finish. Get the stuff done. Okay, so we've talked about tokens. We've talked, okay, there's keys. Same concept. I talk about this when I give you guys the pass. You don't need to have a fully unlocked VU tower to be successful, but over time you're definitely going to want to, you know, get that maxed out. You do get a building when you max it out. It's a little Maxis Man statue. It's a 3-pointer, I believe, and it's like a 50% pop boost. You want to make sure that you have the airport and all 3 levels of the airport unlocked. You're going to get airport assignments whether you have the airport unlocked or not. It's also one of your premium assignments. Another thing that you can do is go through your deliveries, and if you don't have the items for something and you know, like, let's say the contest of mayors is beginning in 6 hours and your flight leaves in 4 hours. Does it really make sense to prolong the timer? No. Just click request new flight and begin that timer now rather than 4 hours from now, making it take longer once the contest begins. Same thing goes for the cargo shipping dock. You really shouldn't be doing flights or cargo shipping unless it's for the contest, because 90% of the time the items that it's asking for, even though they are giving you a little bit of coin, it still exceeds the value that you're getting in return if you sell the airport item or whatever. It's a joke. I never do flights unless I absolutely have to for the contest. You are going to have to pay for flights to come back in. And another quick tip for y'all is do not pre-pack the boxes. If you pre-pack those boxes and then you are unable to find something and you have to request a new flight, you can't. Once you pre-pack them, that's it. You're stuck waiting the full timer out. So don't do that. Okay? Okay. Epic pointers. You need to make sure you have enough epic pointers so that you can get those done quickly. Trying to think, what else? You've got everything in terms of war. You've got your boosters. You've got, you know, war simoleons if you need to buy some kind of something from the war store, you know, if you're missing some kind of a booster or something. And that pretty much sums it up, you guys. I mean, space is going to be a lot of it. Space, having those shops maxed out, having your upgrades readily available. Basically, just being able to get any assignment done as quickly as possible. Usually right before the contest begins, I have all my shops ready for pickup. They've got 10 items ready for pickup in all of them, and then 1 item producing. Now, if your storage is maxed out, you can just simply click on the shop and then use the yellow arrows to cycle through and then lay 1 item down, right? When you lay 1 item down, it's obviously going to deduct the materials from your storage capacity. Okay, so basically, let's say you go through and you collect 1 item from every shop. Okay, but you want to lay 1 item down so that you have 10 ready for pickup and you're always producing 1 item. You either have to have a starting point and click on it and use the yellow arrows to cycle through, or your storage has to be maxed out. So either way you want to go about it, use the yellow arrows to cycle through, and that way you don't have to pick up all of the stuff you have already prepped. Okay? Now, when it comes to factories, the tip for those, let's say that you have to make 47 feed and you only have 40 slots available. You don't want to make 40 feed at once, because when you do that, you have to start the feed assignment. Once you start the assignment, you can no longer work on other assignments. So it would only make sense to do the second half of the feed first. Continue to work on other assignments until the remainder on the second half is finished. Then, once the assignment's already started, you can't do anything anyways, then lay all 40 feed down. So basically, if you have to make 47 feed, you're going to lay 10 down, okay? Just a couple extra to be safe. So you lay the 10 down. When that's ready, you continue to work other assignments. When that's ready, you pick up those 10 feed, and then because the assignment's already started anyways, then you lay 40 down. This way, while those 10 are making, you can work on other assignments and not have to worry about it. So many times people will lay 40 feed down, and then they'll get an assignment for making seeds or metal or something, and they can't do it. And they're just stuck. So don't do that, okay? You can do split prepping, where let's say you prep 5 paint, 5 glue, just to get kind of a head start on an assignment. That's another quick tip for you guys. Definitely going to want to make sure that you have, gold keys and plat keys for resources if you have to do any war card upgrades. You also want to make sure that you have regional currency if you have to do a hotspot upgrade. That's pretty much it. Other than that, that's it. Whenever you do get the opportunity to get a Maxis, you should, because that'll give you 1 VU item a day that you can purchase, which is super helpful. And that's it. So good luck to you guys. Hopefully that helps, but that is what it takes to be successful in Mega. It really, it's a disaster when you have, think about it. If you have a city that has no war card upgrades ready, available, they get that assignment, they're screwed. Then you have that same city has no space, so they have to do deliveries, but they can't hold anything. Or they don't have any cash, so they can't call back in their flights. Or they don't have any tokens, so they can't speed up their production assignments. All of these little setbacks are major issues when it comes to being successful in the contest. So, just also make sure that you have, another thing I always make sure that I have is I always try to make sure that I have enough to do the Not in Kansas at least 3 times on the war items. Because if I get a launch legendary, I can launch that assignment 3 times in a row within 1 energy bar. And that is the fastest way to get a launch 3 legendary assignment done, is to do the Not in Kansas. Okay? That's it. So good luck to you guys, and just make sure that your regional maps are all set to go. Oh, the next thing is land expansions. You need to get the land expansions done as soon as possible, because that assignment is almost always in your list and worth 2,000 points. It's just a pain in the butt. and it takes up one of your main task values. So you want to make sure that you get that out of the way. When it comes to mountain and beach, you want to save those for mega, 100% of them, okay? Because they're worth 2,500 a piece. Mountain and beach items are super easy to obtain, and they are a great way to boost up your score, but it is going to be expensive. So the first couple weeks of mega, while you're doing, all of your beach and mountain expansions, one, that's helpful because you're learning, so it's kind of like a score boost for the mistakes that you're making, but it's also very expensive. So be prepared to have coins so that you're not broke. Last thing you want to be is broke during the contest of mayors, okay? Find a good group. Do not end up in a group that doesn't do war. If you are in a group that does not do war and you're trying to be successful in the contest, you can use the monster to do most war assignments, like war deliveries, launch attacks, like launch common, rare, and legendary. The only one that does not work is the green one that says launch attack and club wars, okay? You can now call the monster in for cash, but most of the time it's like ridiculously expensive. So just make sure that you need to have a good group. You need to have a good group of players, and you need to have somebody who understands that, the need for all players to be successful. Their success means your success. Don't stay in a group and do whatever the group wants you to do, okay? Like, what I mean by that is I see so many people say, well, I would be more successful at comm, but my group requires we do war. Okay, well, and what they mean by that is they require that they participate in like astronomical amounts of points. A group should never cost you to be there in that regard. Like, you should always be benefiting. You should be basically like an asset to the group. Like, you should be contributing, yes. But in my group, for example, everybody's successful. And their being successful means that they need less help from others. And when everybody's successful, then nobody's down and out. So like, if I'm helping somebody who's not successful, it's just taking away from my success. If I sell somebody melons because they don't have any, that's one thing, because they're going to sell something to me when I don't have it. But if I'm selling to somebody all the time because they never have anything because they're not successful, they're just costing me. You see where I'm going with that? So everybody needs to, be successful together in order for, things to run smoothly. Good luck to you guys. Hopefully that helps. And if anybody has any questions or video requests, you're more than welcome to put it in the comments section down below. And don't forget to join us on Discord and Facebook.